Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for Season 3 of the World Championship Racing Series. I'm Ben Rwaggy McConnell, and joining me on the caster desk is Jamie Amkasa. Elder, how are you doing?
I'm not too shabby, about yourself?
I am not too shabby indeed. There's a quick glimpse at the track, as you can see on the screen. It's the beautiful Melbourne circuit here. I really love this track. It's actually super exciting, but here are the tyre strategies that are available. So it's 29 laps in total. The one stopper is going to be more than likely going to be a soft to mediums, which is doable. We'll see who chooses to do that. These drivers, last season standing was Brownie, who was the winner overall. He's back again this season. So there's loads of new drivers as well, and it's a very stacked grid. And we're going to get straight into the qualifying.
Absolutely,
right.
It's going to be awesome, to say the least. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not wrong. And I have made one slight little boo-boo. I completely forgot that we changed games. So it's showing 2018, however, it's about to show
2019.
Boom, there we go. Full sorted.
There you go, my showing is right as well. Hey!
Happy days. We are indeed. Right, here we go. There's the drivers overall. We're going to quick rundown of the 15 drivers that are here. There is obviously more in the entire tier. It's just a few of them couldn't make it. So Sven Zerner being the top of the list there. Not in any particular reason. Just happens to be in P1 at the minute. With El Sunny in second. And Nick Turn there right below him. Blugzan, Rayner, Zerd, Speedy, Flying Finn, Hypers, Rick, Brownie, Lemon, Martin G, Copy, and I7. Immediately I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be an intense race straight off the bat. But we know, I think we know every single driver here, right? I don't think there's any drivers that we don't know. Yeah, we know all of them.
Except Finn, I've heard the name but haven't seen the driver.
So I'm going to ask you now. I'm going to throw you under the bus as per usual. What's your top 3 prediction for qualifying?
Well, I think there's going to be 4 drivers, I reckon, that could be sitting at the front of this grid. Sven, Martin G, Hypers, and Zerd. I think those are the 4 drivers that we expect to be seeing battling for this. What I think is going to happen is not going to be correct, because it never is when I predict it. I predicted on the reveal last week the overall winner was going to be Hypers, so I'm going to have to stick with that man to be starting at the front. Otherwise, I'm going against my word already. So let's go with Hypers to take the pole from Zerd, then Sven.
Wow, okay. A lot of people would tend to go for sort of Sven Zerner first because he's already made such a name for himself in the F1 esports side of community. But I'm kind of with you. I actually don't... I mean, I've not seen Sven drive so far in F1 2019 at all, but I can only go by what I have seen of the other drivers.
Yeah.
Which is... I'm going to go slightly different to you. I've been banging on about him a fair bit recently, and I'm going to continue with that banging on.
Martin G?
Nope, Zerd. I think Zerd will take pole here today. He has been driving insanely fast overall, and I think he will be the man to watch here today. Last time I commentated him here in Albert Park, he did an exceptional performance. Managed to deliver really, really fast times. And immediately we're seeing a 119 straight away. Hypers, 119.782, leading the charge away from the other drivers that are now trickling in.
Yeah, I mean, not even Sven go faster than Hypers. So you're going Zerd, followed by...
Oh, now I was hoping you wouldn't ask me the second and third.
Well...
I mean, it's going to be... Alright, fair enough. I'm going to go Hypers second and Sven third that way.
So the only change between our predictions is the first and second swap round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same thing. I think it could be a close battle between those. And if you were to look at who do you think your top 3 staying at the top of the podium at the end of the season is going to be? You're looking at Hypers, Sven, Enderturn if he can up his game with no line, Zerd, Martin G. Lemon can produce some good results on a good day. Flying Finn, he's AOR tier 1. I think there's a good 6 or 7 drivers that could be battling here for a championship. And I think this is going to sound the weirdest way to say how a league's going to come down to. It's going to come down to attendance more than anything.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Races. Because we started with 20-man group, we've already lost 5 for just today. So if people just miss one race here or there, and someone else takes a win or a couple of wins back to back, and suddenly they've got a 30, 40 point lead, they're going, oh, right, how am I catching him up?
Yeah.
So it's going to be crucial for those top drivers to turn up for 21, maybe just 20 of the races, give themselves the best chance of taking this title. And I hate to see it come down to that, but unfortunately that's the world we live in, that people have commitments.
Yeah, well, this is it. And yeah, you bang on the nose. There are so many drivers that are so equally matched in pace, and they're all, you can look at them and go, yep, he could do it. Yep, he could do it. Yep, he could do it too. There's so many that you could say it about. It's just so difficult to pick one. I mean, like Nicton, we didn't even mention him in the top 3, but he's still got the capabilities to be in the top 3. That's the crazy thing about it. Martin G, another one. I didn't mention him in the top 3, but I'd still consider him up there in those sorts of areas. Just absolutely next level pace these guys are going to be chucking down. And we need to go on board with someone to do a hot lap.
I'm on board with Zerd. He's just coming to end of Sector 2. Ellington has recently started, but I'm going with your politician Zerd at the moment, just following on his outlap, and we'll see how he gets on. Where's Martin G, Zerd's teammate? That's another thing to quickly mention is constructors. I think Alpha have it stacked this time.
Oh.
It's going to be hard, really hard for Hypers and Lemon to defeat a Martin G and Zerd combination.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Well, Zerd is about to start a hot lap. Amkasa, would you like to take away the hot lap?
As always, as we come around the final corner of this track, get that power down, get that DRS open, and go down the longest straight we have on the track today, avoiding the cars coming out of the garage. He does so, which is flying fin, hit those apexes beautifully, use all the track available, DRS open again, and this is where we're going to see a lot of the overtakes coming down into turn 3, getting late on the brakes, sliding one around the outside or trying down the inside. Either works there. There's no real way to defend that. Don't run too on the exit of 4. That curb is dangerous. You can get stuck on it. Turn 5 can catch you out if you're not paying attention. Just lose that back end and it will come round to beat you. Turn 6, a bit of a corner cut there. Was that invalidated? He's still in Mo5. I think the answer to that is no. Through the long right of turn 8 and then up to Clark chicane, turn 9 and 10. And this one's really quite important to get this perfectly because it leads you into a nice little isn't straight as we come round this long left-hander towards the end of Sector 2. DRS detection point is just there, and you go through 11 and 12. Vegas corner, we've nicknamed it after the Great Vegas who crashed out here. DRS straight down towards turn 13, known as a Scary, and you can attack again around the inside or send one down the inside or outside through 14. DRS detection point for home straight is actually back before turn 14. Very crucial, that one, because that means you can try for a little cheeky overtake before there. Final corner then, turn 16. Power down, keep to the left. DRS open, don't run out of fuel before you get to the line, and set a rather slow lap.
Yep. I mean, he made a lot of mistakes throughout the entire lap. It's no surprise that he didn't finish anywhere near as far up as I expected him to, but it's still early doors. We do still have 9.5 minutes remaining of the session, so we'll see what he can do when he comes back around. We have his teammate Martin G still in the pits as well. We saw he had issues right at the very beginning, which does suggest why he is still in the pits. But I think give it a bit of time, he'll be back out soon.
Lemon just hit the inside of turn 12. I thought we were going to see our first incident of the qualifying. He just got the line, I wouldn't say slightly wrong, it was completely wrong. He just cut the corner. He was closer to being on the grass on the inside than he was to hitting the apex. Hence why he's now limping back to the pits as Hypers goes fastest. The 19.5. That's Fender. It's on the fly. He's coming up to the line now.
He is indeed. No, he's backed out. He's gone into the pits. Oh, almost put it in the wall there. That was a very, very close crash. He's kept himself alive, kept himself together. Where's Rainer? Rainer is coming through 13. I'm ready for him.
He's going towards the line. No, he's not. He's going off. He's going for a bit of off-roading.
I think he's swatched games. I think he's gone dirt. Wrong Codemaster game.
I think he heard we're talking about him, so he panicked.
Potentially.
Commentator's curse came early.
Rainer's here though now on the home straight, wing wide open now, coming up to it. 118, 190, it's going to be a 120. It's still a good time, a 120.073, marginally behind Sven Zerner. But still, you need to be faster than that if you want to beat these boys, because this is a no mistakes made situation you need to find yourself in.
Yeah, he looks a little off going around the final corner. I think he might have actually lost the 10th and a bit on that final corner. Just didn't quite get it together. Sorry. Get it together as well as he'd like. His teammate is out on the flyer at the moment, down there in a lonely light. Just gone through turn 5, so end of the first sector, he's got a fair way to go. What about end of turn? He's just started. Keep an eye on him. You never know what he can do.
Well, he's exactly that's what I was saying earlier. You know, he's the sort of guy you could easily expect him to be up there and put in a shocker of a lap time and just really blow everyone's mind with the pace that he can chuck down. But as it stands, he's not looking too great.
Lemon is Melbourne drifting around the final corner, and that is a quick time. Did you expect to see that?
No, I did not. Lemon, a lot of issues. Overall, last season in particular, I've seen him in other leagues, sorry, he's not been the fastest. And Nick Turn's run out of fuel.
Backed out. Has he actually run out of fuel or has he backed off? He's backed off.
No, he's definitely run out of fuel.
No, he's not run out of fuel. He's still accelerating.
It doesn't sound like...
Because he's in a higher gear than he should be. You wouldn't be able to accelerate like that if you had no fuel.
Yeah, it's true.
Or do a flying lap.
Although he's going again. Yeah, here we go. Never mind, he's definitely not out of fuel then. Interesting, alright.
Questioning the stats man, Rwaggy?
Well, I was more questioning what he was doing rather than the stats man.
He made a mistake.
It suggested... Yeah. But
What's
he's really going for it.
He is going for it as well, coming towards the final few corners now. Can he get it up to where you kind of expect him to be, up there with front runners? We'll both find out. His fuel is low. That's what a low fuel looks like, Rwaggy.
Thanks for that.
It's alright, that's what I'm here for. And he's going to do...
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, he beats his teammate, but look how close it is between Sven, Martin G, and Reina. He literally separated the two of them, and that was already a very close margin anyway. So it's, it's really sort of demonstrating the pace, and Sven Zern is on a new lap as well. We're still 5 minutes 45 to go. We are almost at the calm before the storm moment. We've still got a little bit of lap times being chucked in. Where's Borgzan? He's coming up to the final two corners now. Needs to keep this bit clean. This bit here, if you get it right, sets you up so well for the final one. But no, he's actually coming into the pit, so never mind that. Where is I7?
Rick was going back into the pits. He's obviously had a very bad run so far. So it's not working out well for him. What about an turn? He's coming to the line. Fourth minute turn. Look at the gap between him and Lemon.
Yeah. The only thing to know, though, is he did do 2 laps on those softs. So now he needed to make sure that he still left himself enough sort of margin so that he could go faster. But he also needs to... Now the pressure's going to be on him even more, that he doesn't sort of bottle it in the next hot lap he does.
Yeah, speaking of bossing, I was just aboard with Speedy for a moment. He ran a little wide on 12. I thought we were going to see a big oof into that wall on the right-hand side, but he was kept it calm, kept that steering straight. As soon as you start trying to steer off track, that's where it starts to go wrong or over-accelerate. But he's going to come across the line, set a time. It's a small improvement, but it is an improvement. He's up to 13th, behind his teammate and ahead of Brownie.
Yep. Here's now my P1 prediction. Is it going to be P1 on this lap? It's not. It's P6. But it is still faster. 4/10 faster, in fact. And now he's only 300ths of a second behind Nickturn and Lemon.
Hypers has backed out of his lap. He made a little mistake, little wobble through turn 12. So he is either going to come back in and set some tyres on and go again, which is the logical thing to do, or go for another lap. And he's coming in.
Copy is in the gravel. That was a mistake.
Copy that.
I think the McLarens were going to try a tow, as they usually do. But
it's not really a tow track, though.
No. I mean, they're both coming into the pits.
Get it down the home straight into turn 3, then yes. That's about it, but it's not ideal. I'm just on board with Flying Finn, currently P3 in Williams.
Yeah, don't get used to seeing this, by the way. This is only in E-Leagues. You won't see that in official F1, at least not for some... Well, not this year, at least. Unless they find some magical package that improves their performance dramatically.
They already have a magical package. It's called George Russell.
Yeah, they need more than George Russell, though, unfortunately. Anyway, back to this particular racing league. You can see Finn, like you said, is still on a flyer. He's looking quick already, P3, and he's only just a P3 because it's literally 1.5 hundredths of a second between him and Sven Zerner.
It's not even far off Hypers at the moment. Hypers has had an extra run and he's coming to the pits, which is a wise decision to make. You've got a chance to do another lap. If you did that, you wouldn't have another chance. So if you felt a bit uneven on that one, come in and go again. And it is your time.
Yep, it is the time. The calm before the storm. The drivers are sat in the pits. Almost all of them. There are a couple out on the track. And people will be prepping themselves. If you're going to go for a two-lap qualifying now, then you're going to come out now. If you're going to go for a one-shot, then you're going to be coming out in a little bit longer. Probably about another 20-30 seconds or so. And that's when you'll start to see the track come alive. Now, the other thing to think about is you want to be the first of this lot to get out there. But you also want to be the last of this lot to get out there, because you want to be as close to the 0.00 seconds remaining as possible when you cross the line, because that is when the track is the most evolved. You'll get the most grip out of it, the most performance out of your tyres, and that will mean you'll be able to chuck in faster lap times, but you also run the risk of being stuck in traffic. It's catch-22.
Yeah, well, at least if you're at the back, you can really back off the pack and let everyone else go. You don't have to worry about getting other people's way, because you might have flying laps coming through. And speaking of flying laps, Rick is finally going to complete one, I hope. He is known as the Bottle Master because he invalidates so many laps. He's done so today, and he's a little slow around the funnel, but it could be a time on the board. And let's see what he does.
I think it's going to be a time on the board, but it's not really going to be a time that he's going to be happy about. He's actually already turned off his ERS, which means that he's not going to commit to this lap, but he also doesn't have a lot of time to get round. And especially if he's going this slow, he's not going to be able to do another lap. That is Rick's qualifying session over, and he's sat in P10. The chances that he's going to get knocked down are actually really high. You've got the likes of Speedy, you've got the likes of Brownie and Copy and Bulloksan, and even Sonny. All of these drivers can knock him out, and I think they will.
Well, we're about to find out. Lemon he's on a reinstallation lap. He's obviously bailed out his flying lap. Hypers, his teammate, has just started, and so he's going to be one of the first of the next lot, unless Bulloksan's on another flying lap. Let's have a look. Bulloksan's in mode 0, so that's a no. His teammate, Reina, is struggling. Down there in 9th.
Yeah, not the normal. And he's actually, I've just seen his time delta from Sector 1 to 2. He's actually slower. I mean, he was only by a couple of hundredths of a second, but you need every hundredth of a second you can get when you're racing in this sort of lobby.
And he's down still. Oh, he's faster, sorry. He's faster by nearly a tenth. I misread that. So at least he's up at the moment, and he's up by a tenth, and that can actually jump you quite a long way. That could get him up to 6th if he pulls it together, but then you expect everyone else to go a little bit faster once we get into the final laps. And who was that backing off?
That was Bulloksan. Getting cleanly out of the way now, so Reina is going to be the first of this lot to cross the line. Is it going to be a fast enough lap time? He's not going to improve. It was faster, but it was invalidated. Bulloksan, his teammate, is there as well. He's crossed the line. He's gone P11.
Hypers is backed off. He's out. He's done.
Well, then the pressure's on Sven Zerner then. Can he deliver? And he's coming up to the second to last now. So, Hypers on provisional pole, 119.525, and he also backs off. So, P2 is where he's going to stay.
I was just watching Lemony for some reason, just drove into the wall as he's crossing the line.
Oh, my G. So Mind G crosses the line, he goes P4. Now comes Zerd up the home straight, and Nictor manages to jump Lemon just about, and Zerd stays 7th. That I am surprised with.
The Flying Fin is the last, one of the last to finish with his teammate.
Oh, he does it! Oh my lord, look how close it is. A 119.523, and then Hypers is a 119.525. 2 thousandths of a second separating these two drivers. This is going to be all about the dash to the first corner, and I think either one of them could easily take this Grand Prix. Let's see. So, a rundown for the top 3 is Flying Fin P1, Hypers P2, and Sven Zerner P3. Well, we got 1 of 3, right?
I have here my predictions, so there go my predictions.
Yep. I haven't got a bin close enough to do it. But I'm with you on that. Flying Finn really delivered. I was not expecting much, I'll be honest, at first. Purely because I'd not really seen him drive. And the way that he was doing the majority of the qualifying session, it was pretty okay. It was good. It was a good fast time, but it wasn't like blowing my mind kind of time. And then he just chucks in that last-ditch attempt, and he makes it. It's a Flying Finn, blowing people apart now. 2,000ths of a second ahead of Hypers. So Flying Finn takes pole position with Hypers in P2. And Sven Zerner in P3, Martin G in 4th, and Nick Turn in 5th with Lemon in 6th, Zerd in 7th, I7 in 8th with Rainer in 9th. Rick will take the final spot of the top 10. I expected him to get knocked out, and he didn't. He stayed there, and he's done well. Bulgzan will be the fastest of the rest of the drivers, so Bulgzan taking 11th, El Sunny in 12th, Copy in 13th, Brownie 14th, and Speedy is your final driver in 15th place. What a qualifying.
I think that's really helped Flying Finn is the fact the Sven and Hypers backed off their laps. That's really helped him. Because, I mean, the track evolution should have had him another 10th up. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you've got to finish your lap. If you don't finish your lap, you don't get the time. So, all credit to Flying Finn for actually getting that lap strung together and nailing it by 2000s. But top 13 separated by less than a second. Bodes well.
Yep, it really does. So now the drivers are on the track. They're all prepping themselves and thinking about their race strategies and how they're going to tackle this race. Obviously, we had a dry qualifying, and looking at it right now, it looks like it's going to be a dry race to go with it. So that will promote lots of DRS overtaking, lots of attacking into the corners rather than being delicate through them. And I think we're going to be seeing a very exciting Grand Prix.
Let's hope so. And that's what we're here to see. And who are we going to see at the top, though?
Oh, you did it to me. You did it to me.
I keep trying to find a way of getting into the conversation to get it to you. And I've got it.
Well played. I'll let you have that one. All right. Well, it's my turn to go first, I guess. So I'm sad. I'm sad because I did think the Zerd was going to be able to do enough. And I honestly think in normal situations, I think he would. But I don't know if the pressure got to him a little bit too much here. He looked at the other drivers, I can feel, and it feels like he just sort of caved a little bit. Martin G really performed today. And I want to see him continue that level of pace, and I think he will get himself a podium. I just don't know if it's going to be... He's definitely not going to be race leader, in my opinion. I think it's going to be between Flying Finn and Hypers, I think. And that's if he keeps it clean enough, yeah. But I don't know. It's so... All right. Screw it. Flying Finn's going to take the win. Hypers is going to sit P2, and I think Martin G will be P3 due to penalties.
Due to penalties. So Sven is going to lose out.
But I only think Sven's going to get one penalty. I think that's how close it's going to be all race.
Hypers, Sven, Zerd.
Zerd in P3?
Yes.
I mean, that's
right.
If you get that right, that is a comeback story of champions right there. Zerd in P7 after qualifying, getting onto the podium would be insane. I mean, he's got... Listen, I'm backing this guy all the way. I love this guy, but you know, it's going to be... That's a hell of a drive to achieve. I mean, literally every driver in front of him has the pace to stay in front of him.
But he also has the pace to beat them on a good day.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so difficult to get these predictions to bang on. They're all so good, so fast, and I want to see such an exciting Grand Prix, and I already know this is going to be intense. I am already ready to destroy my voice for this race. Let's get it on.
Any DNFs on the first lap? Quick call.
I mean, I saw Martin G DNF
Just
here.
say yes or no, simple answer.
Yes, 2.
Okay, well, I'll go no then. 2?
2.
You reckon it's 2? I'll go with 1 then.
Get ready for it. It's coming. Lights are on now. The drivers are prepped and ready. You can hear the engines revving it up. When the lights go out, it's going to be getting away. And now Flying Finn gets off to a beautiful start there. Actually, Hyper's going to have to tuck in behind him straight away. You can see there's Sven Zerner getting moves round on him. Now he's going to take the inside for turn 2. And that will mean that Hyper stays ahead, though, because Sven had to back out. Look at Martin G coming for the move around the outside. He can't get it done as Sven Zerner blocks him up just enough.
Oh, big crash back behind. Sorry, anti-turn has just spun. And we've got a big shunt going out the back. And there's going to be about 4 or 5 pit stops coming out the front wings. And I7 is the new 5th place after that. Oh, that was huge. That was a late dive for someone. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been
Bogdan!
Copy or Edison.
Bogdan! Oh, wow, that was close. Bogdan lost the back end of the car, spins the car completely on the track, and then rotates and rolls in front of, I think that was Zerd or Nicton. I can't remember which one
That
it was.
Zerd. I just flicked on board with him and saw a car in my face.
It was scary either way. That's all we can say. But we need to go back up to the front runners. As you know, that it'll be pretty tense and close up there. So, Flying Finn is living up to the name and flying away now. Hypers is actually falling back just a touch. Sven Zern is staying onto the back of Hypers, but Martin G, he's the one who's closest. There's no DRS yet. We still got to wait till lap 3 for that. But when it activates, that's when we're going to see this race ignite.
11 has gone off at Vegas corner. He's still going, but I think we're about to see a very busy pit lane.
Oh. Straight into the wall there. He tried to get a little bit too early on the accelerator, went off into the wall.
Oh,
it's gone again! Oh, no, he's just getting a bit aggressive. That's all it is. If you look at his tyres, the tyres have got a lot of like chalk and debris, and he's just messing with the car now. You can see the way that he's just flicking the wheel around and then steps on the accelerator. And yeah, no surprise there. But yeah, we're seeing the pit boards light up. I7's in, Serd's in, Nickton's in, and Lemon, if he can make it, he'll be in as well.
So Rayner had made a move on I7 down the straight at sector 3 between 12 and 13. He's now up to 5th, but with a huge gap after that first lap incident between everyone other than the top 4. He's now 4.5 seconds back from the front runners. The front runners are not exactly close at the moment, so Lemon has given up already. There's one DNF in the first lap. I win.
You said none.
I said 1. After you said 2, I said, oh, all right, I'll go 1.
That's
Brownie's
cheating. Yeah, Brownie not. I mean, we've seen him struggle here before. He just didn't have the setup he liked. He's actually running yellow fuel in a minute, which does mean he's not got enough to make it to the end. At some point, he's going to need to go conservative. But it is kind of Brownie's sort of driving style. He likes to drive fast, but conservative and just consistent. Flying Finn, however, likes to chuck in hot laps after hot laps. He's currently done a new hot lap on lap 3 now. So good stuff from him. Let's see him deliver the pace. DRS is enabled. Hypers is outside of the DRS only just, whereas Sven Zerner is not. And he has the opportunity now to really push.
That's not what you want to see on the 3rd lap. A 3-second penalty for El Sunny. Currently, it had a decent start. He's up there in 6th. Obviously helped out by the early pit stops. Let's have a look at his position gains. Yeah, he's up 6. Speedy's up 7. Down there in 8th. And obviously the big losers are the people at the back. Boltzan, after his little spin, as the only one of the back lot have not moved position. Everyone else, other than the top 4, have all changed except for him.
Yeah.
As Zerd is in the pits again, and he's DNF'd.
And he's retired. Well, there goes your podium prediction then. That's sad news for him to be in. Right. But how do we fare for the rest of them as El Sunny is right on the back of Rayner? I remember DRS is enabled here, and this is going to be a DRS straight here. He didn't get the XC he required, and that's actually now Rayner running away from him. So, yes, he's got DRS, but it's only going to be to try and bring himself closer, maybe prepare himself for that home straight push.
Copy's trying to go around the outside of Speedy, doesn't get it. Brownie's going to come through, take the place off Copy. Brilliant awareness there from Brownie. See Copy running deep into the corner, trying to make moves on Speedy. Brownie just sends one up the inside and goes, oh, okay, I'll have that one. And now he's got a chance to make a move on Speedy. Speedy will not have DRS here. Brownie doesn't have a back end there. That setup is still not working for him. He needs to work out what he's got wrong. Is he overheated the tyres ready? For Sunny and Rayner. Is he going to make it?
Well, he's going for it, looking for the inside line into turn 3. It's going to be tight, but Rayner manages to get around the outside clean enough. He holds on to P5, and Sunny will just have to stay in a very casual P6.
Yeah, Brownie didn't make a move either. He's still stuck behind Speedy. I just wonder if he's overheated his tyres a little bit and just needs to do a few cool-down laps, at least a few corners, to bring those temperatures down. Speedy tries his own way of bringing temperatures down by driving on the grass. Each their own, I guess.
Yeah, and that's actually bringing Brownie even closer than before. And bear in mind, we only have a couple of corners before we get to our next DRS zone. I mean, yeah, realistically, you're not going to go for the overtake there purely because it doesn't make sense. You've only got a few corners before you get to the home straight, and there's a double DRS zone there, but Speedy's made a little bit of a mistake there. This is going to bring Brownie into this now. Oh, Brownie! Big wobble there, but he's kept it. Beautiful catch there from him. He's going to use the DRS to try and bring himself closer. He's using Mode 4 to help him protect himself, and Copy's trying to get past him, but there's nowhere for him to go. Brownie defended beautifully, and now it went from being Brownie on the attack to very quickly making a mistake, and suddenly he finds himself under attack himself.
That just sums up Brownie at Australia. He just doesn't have the grip. And speaking of trying to have grip, El Sunny's right on the back of Reina. A little bit of corner cut there again from El Sunny. He's going to be careful. He's already picked up a 3-second penalty earlier on. He's right in the rear of Reina, and this he's going to have to go for the inside, but no, Reina's beautifully defended. Just parked it right on the outside on the racing line. Sunny's like, oh, okay, I'm not coming through. Sorry.
Yep. And it's actually costing him time, though.
Yeah, Rick is coming. And Rick is quick.
Rick is definitely quick, but he is a sort of driver who will make a lot of penalties. I mean, so far he's done well, and this season I've seen him really deliver. Like, as last time I saw him race was in Bahrain, and he drove very quickly overall. And the only reason he DNF'd that race was, a Nick turns out.
Sector 3, that could have been in the pit lane by the looks of things. Fresh tyres, yeah, that looks like a pit lane retirement to me. But yeah. Sven is all over the back of Hypers, and we could see a new second place after the next few corners. Sven feeling it. I think he's going to have to. He's right there on the tail of Hypers. And if he gets the jump, he could get right on the back of Finn, Flying Finn, with that extra speed. But Hypers actually got a decent drive out of the corner. I don't think Hypers will last much longer in front. And that is the exiting car right in the wrong place.
That's how Nick turns. Oh, and they're actually scrapping as well on the exit of turn 2 because of that car. And now you can see Sven Zerner is going to be up in P2. He's having to switch over to the inside. Rick getting a 3-second time penalty. As I was just saying, he was cleaner earlier, and he ruins it for me. But now, Hypers on the back of Sven Zerner. Pressure has now been reversed. Sven Zerner is going to be feeling the pressure. Hypers really needing to push himself if he wants to take that place back.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. I might have got the name wrong, but I thought I saw Flying Finn pick up a 3-second penalty.
I don't remember seeing it. I saw Rick got one, but I didn't see Flying Finn get one.
I think it might have been because of Eniton's AI just thrown out of the pits. He had to take evasive action. I saw it flash up. I saw something flash up on my screen. I thought it said Flying Finn. I actually thought it said Hypers first of all, but on second thought it wasn't. But we'll find out. I'll have a quick look actually.
Well, whilst you're doing that, I'm going to be keeping a firm eye locked on to Hypers, as remember, Sven Zerner is over the 1 second mark behind Flying Finn, which means Flying Finn it doesn't have to worry about DRS at the minute. Hypers, though, has the attack all built up for this moment right here. Comes around this final corner, wing wide open now. He's gone for Mode 5 to try and get the extra acceleration. Mode 4 now to try and keep the top speed pretty high. He needs to get sure that he gets way through 1 and 2 nicely. If he gets even slightly wrong, he's going to lose pace. And now Sven Zerner's within the 1 second, but he won't have DRS purely because there's only one detection zone for that 2. Oh, big lock up there from Hypers.
That long behind though for 5th and 6th. El Sunny trying to go past Rain. He's got the outside of turn 3. Little lock up. Is he going to make a stick? I don't think it's over yet. He's got the inside now. He's just a nose ahead. A little bit of nudging there. I7's given up as well. Is that in the pit lane? I think it might be. And El Sunny is through then, and Rayner up into P5. And now he's going to have to try and move away as Rick is on the back of Rayner.
Yeah.
And from what I said earlier, Flying Finn does have a 3-second penalty.
Oh, that may change things up drastically. I'm just keeping an eye on Rick, and I've actually seen these add some game studies. Oh, that was close. Hypers, that will help Flying Finn's cause a little bit. He now needs to hope and pray that Sven Zerner gets the same, because if he doesn't, then Sven Zerner will take the race win, and Flying Finn and Hypers will drop down to second, and Hypers will stay third.
Rayner picks up his 3-second penalty. It's going to be a fair few penalties. Speedy, keep talking about him. It's going to be quite difficult to work out who actually wins at the end of this, or even gets anywhere. As Hypers has the first to pit, Sven has DRS on Flying Finn. Going down the home straight, he won't go for the move here. He's still in mode 0. He's had a little cheeky look, try and put the Finn off, and nothing obviously coming of it. Now, here we go, down towards turn 3. This is the opportunity to take the race lead for Sven. He's not going to, he's nowhere near.
No.
Could be a lag though. And El Sunny with a 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Right.
not the first penalty we've seen from El Sunny. He's already had a 3-second at least. I think he may actually be up to 9 seconds. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's up to 9 seconds now. However, he is still currently P4, but if he has got a 9 seconds, he will drop to behind Brownie just about. And that's a big oof, really, right there. And you don't want to be in that sort of situation. But now Flying Finn, who's been pretty comfortable throughout the start of this race, for the last 8 laps, he's just been pretty relaxed. He's now no longer relaxed. He's got a very raging Sven Zerner chasing him down, wing wide open again. He's not going to be looking for the overtake, or is he? He's already in overtake mode. This is going to be a rough line. If he goes around the outside, he's going to try it, though. Here he comes, looking for it. They've given each other enough space, but Sven Zerner is still wheel to wheel with Flying Finn. He's managed to get around the outside as well, but it's going to be all for nothing. He's going to come into this sector here, and if Flying Finn can stay alongside of him, which he's trying, he will be able to get the benefit of DRS, and he's going to have Slipstream to go with it.
He really got a DRS. He was just behind as they hit the detection point back before turn 14. And that was quite crucial for him to pick that up. And he's going to have a great chance here. Just a quick look back at Martin G in a little race of his own. Back there in third at the moment. 4 seconds off this, 6 seconds ahead of Sunny. He's just enjoying the race, as Flying Finn can't do anything about it just yet. Tyres are starting to fall off for these guys. We've already seen Hyper's pit. He's down there in 9th place, so it should be worth watching his lap times come in. But now he's got a bit of traffic. He's got to get past Speedy and Copy down there in 9th. Shouldn't be too hard, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
It takes one person to lock up and go into you, and you've lost the wing.
Well, this is the thing. You know, that's the benefit to having these sorts of close drivers, you know, how their pace is so closely matched. It means that just a slight mistake, which would be, in normal cases, oh, it's nothing, it's just a small mistake. But in these situations, that small mistake will cost you tenths of a second. And in a race that's all about thousandths of a second, you can't afford to lose a tenth.
Well, yeah, it's about 1,000th in the qualifying, that's for sure. As the qualifying was decided by 2,000ths of a second. But Flying Finn's still on the back of Sven. I just wonder if we're going to see a undercut attempt from one of these two. Sven's in. Oh, I think Flynn wanted to come in, but left it too late.
Yeah, he got caught out massively there. You could physically see that on the way that he was steering. He was following Sven Zerner. Then he realized that Sven was going in. He thought, oh, I thought he was going to get a penalty then. He realized Sven was going into the pits. And then it looked like he wanted to come in, made like a indecisive move. Was like, oh, should I? And then decided he wasn't going to. And then afterwards, I get the impression, the way that he was driving, it suggested.
Oh, there he is. Hyper, he's come out alongside Hypers. He thinks he can just be behind. But this is net race lead at the moment. Sven's tyres aren't switched on. He's sliding through the turn 2 exit. And Hyper's in a good position now, but he needs to get past Copy and Brownie as soon as flipping possible. Unfortunately for him, those tyres are going to get a little bit old on the 2 cars in front. They're mediums, so they're going to be starting to struggle. Flying Finn will be coming in this lap, I suspect. I'll be surprised if he stays out any longer.
But I also would be surprised if he stays net P1. I mean, yes, these guys are stuck behind, and it looks like Hypers is going to be taking the inside line. I think he might just get it. He's going to have to ride that curve to make sure he gets it, but he puts Brownie off into the grass. It's a little bit risky, but also Sven Zerner making very quick work of that. So that's good news there from him. Not Brownie, sorry, Copy. Sven Zerner is within DRS range of Hypers again. Tyres will be a lot warmer this time, so he won't be losing as much pace against Hypers as he was before. I want to quickly just shoot up to Flying Finn, who, yes, is in the pits. Where will he come out?
He will come out behind this battle. He'll come out behind Speedy.
I mean, that would be disaster, wouldn't it? If he falls out to behind Speedy, he's going to have to pass 2 cars on track that are not going to be blue flagged. And they're all going to, well, 3 cars, because these guys are about to pass Brownie, and they come down the home straight. Here's Hypers using the slipstream and DRS to pass him very quickly. Sven Zerner is going to be stuck behind Brownie. He's going to be trying for something as quick as possible. He has to disperse a Brownie very quickly. If he doesn't, he will be stuck between the two, and Brownie is on much older tyres.
Yeah. There he goes. Dive on the inside. Contact. Brownie did not see him coming. There's late braking. There's Danny Rick late braking, and then there's Sven Zerner late braking.
But I actually think that was still pretty good. I mean, it was wheel to wheel. It was only a gentle touch, even when he did go for it. I mean, it was a very much, I'm putting all of my money into this basket right now. If I don't send this right this second, I'm going to die. And he sent it anyway, and it worked out. He's still behind Hypers, still within DRS range, and still going for it.
Quickly.
Yep.
Flying Finn came up behind Speedy as I predicted on medium tyres.
Wow. That's a strategy call and a half.
Well,
it is doable. No, I think he will. I think he'll make it. Looking at the graphic that showed us right at the beginning, it is actually doable. There's also a battle going on at the back of the pack. You've got Bulkzan, El Sunny, Rick, and Rayner. All 4 cars literally stacked behind each other. Rick makes a mistake, didn't quite get the exit he wanted. This brings Rayner into the move for it. Rick is going defensive down the inside. Ain't nothing he can do. Oh, Rick! That was close.
He's held up Rayner.
He has, but Rayner read it. He completely read that situation. Look, 0 wing damage. He managed to stop himself perfectly in that situation. And Martin G, who was up there with the big boys earlier, is now falling down just a touch as he's in the pits. He's coming out now, and he's going to stay P7.
Yep, and again, he's going to have to get past Speedy. But he's got a little race of his own going on there, isn't he?
Yeah.
7 seconds to Speedy, 3 seconds to El Sunny behind. El Sunny has more penalties than we have laps gone. So that's not going to be an issue for him. And Flying Finn and Brandy's what place is team orders?
Well, I mean, it looked like it was definitely team orders. Yeah, it looked like it was definitely team orders, but Brownie just took the corner really tightly, and that's meant now that he's having to do what he's doing now, which is very risky. He almost puts Copy into the grass. I mean, Copy backed out just to avoid it, but that was very risky to say the least.
Yeah, that's Copy twice on that little bit of grass in only a handful of laps. Last time it was the front runners getting past, and this time it was Brownie defending against him. Speedy got a good chance to come up to Brownie, but just unable to get it going. Brownie's run very wide. This is Speedy going to come through with ease. Copy coming through. He's going to... Because Brownie's tyre's a little bit dirty now. Copy moves up then to P5, and he runs wide.
Yeah, it's just a couple of mistakes here and there from each driver, and that's ultimately what it's come down to now. You can see that overtakes are happening left, right, and centre.
Yeah, these little mistakes that are going to cost drivers potentially a shot at the podium if the front runners start making mistakes like that. I don't expect them to make mistakes, but always mistakes. I mean, we've seen Rick lose the back end. We've seen Bulkzan just lose it. So many little mistakes here, there, and everywhere. And all it's going to take is a mistake from one of the front runners, and they can be down the back. I mean, the grid is still quite tightly bound. Let's have a look at the gaps to the leader. 25 seconds separates the entire grid at the moment.
Yeah, so, and that's one pit stop. You know, it's a little bit over that, but it's about a pit stop. So, you know, that anything can happen. One slight mistake. If, for example, Flying Finn, he's gone for a very ballsy call. He's gone for the medium tyres. If he ends up having a pit, he's dead last.
Yeah. Hopefully, for his sake, he can get those mediums to the front, get a nice little lead on like 15 seconds or something, which I don't think is going to be possible. But, Brownie's gone off again. Copy's coming straight through with ease. Brownie gets a 5-second penalty for being off track. It's a bit harsh, but when you're already getting penalised by the fact you're in the gravel, but that's the game for you. And Martin G is on the back of Brownie.
Yeah, Martin G also gets a 3-second time penalty as well, in the same place that we saw Brownie get one. So it's no surprise that we're in this situation, but we are seeing Martin G very close to the back end of Brownie. They both have DRS, but it's going to be... Oh, Flying Finn gets another penalty. This is disaster for him now. 6 seconds of penalties. He's going to have to really recover from it. Martin G almost goes into the back of Brownie, but Brownie is still alive, and so is Martin G's front wing. Here is Martin G trying his best to use the better slipstream from it. He might go for a late move. He is, and he's done it. Beautiful overtake there from Martin G. This guy is definitely someone to watch out for from the esports side of things. He's very much an up-and-comer, and I have a lot of admiration for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, the tyres helped him massively there. Brownie's had so many little offs in the last lap, and those tyres are dirty and overheating, I would have thought by now, if they weren't already. So Martin G on fresh mediums, sliding one through with relative ease, and he's straight up to the back of Copy. And we'll get DRS this time around. Sven has DRS on Hyper, but he's nowhere near right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching the times between Sven and Hypers. They haven't really changed that much. They keep hovering around about 6 tenths. And I really get the impression that Sven isn't trying to push at the minute. It's like he's just trying to whittle down Hyper's ERS levels, and it is very much a doable situation, because if you know that the driver behind you has DRS and you want to protect your position, you're going to have to flick to mode 4 in order to defend it, whereas Sven actually only has to go into mode 4 for a very brief second to get close to back him, as my G now. Slipstream DRS is round copy on the home straight. Nice and cleanly done. But yeah, let's go have a look at that situation right now. So you can see Sven Zerner's ERS levels are 68, 70% now, whereas Hyper's is a little bit lower, not as much as I expected it to be, I'll be honest, but still 54, 53 area. And this is going to be all about the mechanical skill from these drivers. Not necessarily the mechanical grip of the car. I mean, you're going to need that too, but they need to be able to manage their ERS at perfect levels in order to defend this or attack this.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they go. We're on 15 of 29. And Sven is still just in that DRS. 0.8 is the gap. ERS, there's about 10% between them right now. So he's not draining massively, as Martin G is looking to try and make moves on Speedy. Speedy on forcing up old hards compared to Martin G's relatively fresh mediums, and this should be an easy one. It is. It's done already.
Martin G is just... another one. Flying Finn is just
9.
having disaster. That is almost bringing Martin G into this mix. Bear in mind, he also has a 3-second time penalty himself, but the pace that Martin G is chucking down is just insane at the minute. He is flying. I'm hoping he can contain this and keep himself pushing as hard as he is without destroying his tyres. As you can see, Speedy is coming to the pits, and he's going to be flicking over to the mediums, I can imagine. Surely he's not going to try and go the softs from there.
That might be a little bit too hard. I think he's going to have to go mediums. So yeah, mediums, there we go. So Martin G is on 1 lap fresher tyres compared to Flying Finn. Flying Finn is flying on the penalty charts, if anything, right now.
Yeah.
And if he has to make that extra pit stop, he is going to struggle to get points, in all fairness. So yes, there is a big gap now down towards Speedy and Brownie, but he's got 9 seconds of penalties. Sven with 0, Hypers with 3. Or Hypers 3 or 4 or 6 now? 3.
Yeah, I've only seen 3. I've not seen any more than that. Yeah, hello Rick. Where did that come from? I mean, you are still quite the way down the order. You're P11 at the minute with an 11.2 second gap between you and P10. But you are on faster tyres, at least for now. And
he's still there.
Yeah, and still count him in. He'll get a point for that, though, if he can hold on to it. And Brownie getting the 3-second time penalty will mean that Rick is able to do more to try and bring himself into this further.
Well, yeah, I think he still has to get the top 10 though to get the point, do you not?
I didn't think so. I could be wrong there.
You're okay.
You are the stats man, so I'd be very surprised if I was right and you were wrong. But anyway.
It's a wonder on top of my head.
Oh, Sven's made a mistake. Sven went seriously deep into turn 3 there. He did not mean to do that. And that's actually cost him a fair bit of time now. He's on 9/10 of a second. Hypers is starting to pull away, and it's also bringing... Yes, he's got a lot of penalties, but it's also bringing Flying Finn into this mix even more. 1.2 seconds, bring it down to 1.1 now. If Flying Finn can push harder, he will be able to close up, and he might be able to recover some damage that he's caused to himself. But I think it's going to be a little bit too much to ask for anything more than a P3 finish.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Because he's got to get past these guys and get a huge lead, and the chance of him picking up more penalties as he goes are rather large. Because all he's going to do is, as he's pushing, he's going to make more mistakes, get more penalties, and it's going to be a vicious circle for him. And he's going to not get DRS on the home straight now, whilst Sven will. So Sven will start putting it away a little bit more and more from Flying Finn, as El Sunny's closing up a little bit on copy.
Now, I don't think I've seen any hint of penalties towards Sven Zerner. I'm pretty sure he's still got a clean slate. I mean, commentator's curse means he's about to get one, but if he keeps it clean, he will take the race win. Hypers has been driving exceptionally quick, and Sven's been on his back end for quite a while, and he's not really benefited from it too much. He's not really applied that much pressure to Hypers at all in order for him to properly burn the ERS and defend himself. But the penalty in itself is enough for Sven Zerner to take this.
Yeah, but you just never know. Sven just gets one wheel in the wrong place, so he can have a 3-second penalty of his own. So sitting there and just going to go, well, I'm going to get past you anyway. No point me pushing myself trying to get past. If you end up with that penalty, you've just wasted 10 laps or so.
Yeah.
So he needs to make that overtake, and Finn is getting closer and closer every time I look at him. Just to getting another penalty, he's so close.
Yeah, and look at his ERS levels as well. 11% he's got on that battery. He's pushing, there's no doubt about it. He's trying to capitalize on the fact that he's on the softer compound. But the way that he's chucking it into these corners, he's going to end up costing himself more penalties. And eventually, because if he gets one more, he's immediately in Martin G's firing range. Again, remember, Martin G does have a penalty of his own. So he does have to, make it higher than as it is. It needs to be 15 seconds in order for him to really keep his position. But I don't know, there's a lot of problems.
Yeah, just the ball with Sven. He's sitting in mode 0, so he's not even trying to make moves on Hypers. He's just trying to close up a little bit, pressurize, burn off Hypers' ERS as Copy comes in down there in 17th, and Rick does Rick things once again.
Yep. Well, Copy's in. He's going to be going for the soft tyres, so it's going to be the fastest compound of any. I would expect his timing boards to light up. But the question is, though, is he really going to gain that many places, given how far spread out the rest of the pack is? P8, which is obviously the car in front of him, is, what's that? It's going to be 9-10 seconds between him. Brownie's there on his back end as well, and Brownie's obviously on the hard compounds. As soon as Copy's tyres warm up enough, he will be able to really push himself. But then even when he gets past Speedy, he's then got a 4.8 second gap between him and Bullocks, and then he just gets, too much to ask for in 10 laps to do.
Yeah, I think he might get Speedy. That might be about it. But then again, Boltzan is going to be on some really old tyres, so you might get those two and be back up to where he was. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to say he's going to get them with ease, but he's going to have to push. And push like there's no tomorrow if he wants to get anything else. He'll stay ahead of Brownie, because Brownie's going to be on old tyres, old hard tyres, and pick up penalties.
Yeah.
That was a good time, Brownie. Thanks.
Brownie's been he's been really struggling around this track. I don't know why. He said it was a setup issue before. Surely he's got to have fixed that by now. And if he hasn't, then shame on him, really. But I really want Brownie to start going back to how Brownie used to be. He used to be exceptionally fast, but he's struggling in this game.
Yeah, I think he said to me why he was struggling the other day, and I've forgotten what it was. I think it was to do with the fact that, like Finn is cutting corners, he's going to get a penalty in a second, you watch. I think Rick's style has come more into play with the sort of the over-the-top, right on the limit. Brownie is very controlled in his driving, and it's just made him a little bit slower. And it was last week or the week before, we talked to him about Australia when he drove here before, and he just said his tyres were overheated from like the second lap. So there's something wrong in his setup. He's obviously not corrected as much as he'd like, because Brownie, 2018 Brownie, would be mixing it up, probably battling with Martin G. Maybe not quite the top 3, but definitely giving Martin G a run for his money.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy bridging the gap between 3rd and 4th.
He has also turned off racing line, I'm told, which will affect him quite dramatically. You can't always rely. So the thing is, if you can make your laps perfect every lap, right, and not have any slight variance in your lines, then, having racing line or not having racing line isn't really going to make any difference. But we are humans, we make mistakes, and so it's inevitable that he's going to find himself in a situation where he'll run deep into a corner and he won't be able to necessarily understand at what point he can let go of the brake or when he can get on the accelerator. And just all these small little things, they make a massive difference to the drivers, and that's why you can see Brownie, who usually is right at the top fighting with people, is currently struggling and getting P9 in a minute.
But at the same time, the amount of times these guys race these tracks, the amount of laps they put in, you'd think they'd just become second nature to where they can do everything. They wouldn't need to look at racing line as much. They would know that you brake at this point. You don't use a breaker Mars, you use something else that doesn't get destroyed by someone. If you've got something, that is. Just over time, you just learn the breaking point.
Here we go.
Real F1 drivers don't have time.
No, it's true. Here we go, though. As Hypers, Svenserna, and Flying Finn are all within 7/10 together, Hypers is actually really losing time now to Sven. Sven's really turned the wick up a little bit. Flying Finn obviously has been turning the wick up since he got onto these tyres, and he's really bringing himself up into this little battle here. I think he's costing himself more by trying to do this. The only thing he can really benefit from doing this is purely sitting on the back of these drivers and applying so much pressure that they make mistakes. If they make mistakes, they get penalties, and that's his only real chance now of getting anything higher than P3. P3 is pretty much secure, unless he gets another penalty, then it's a different story. But if he can manage this penalty... Oh, there you go! Svenserna gets a penalty, that's the first one. So just as I was saying, Flying Finn needs to apply enough pressure to Sven in order for him to make mistakes and get penalties, and it's working. If he can do this over the next 7 laps, he might be able to get Svenserna into a position where he will make more problems.
Yeah, Sven now needs to make an overtake if he wants to take this race win, which is easily said and done. And he is in a good position to... Well, he was, and Hypers is just all the way off the corner. ERS levels, got about 20% on Hypers. He's just getting some cool air into that car. As he knows he's got a Flying Finn all over his back, and more penalties for Flying Finn.
Yeah, and that has basically been the final nail in his coffin. It might also be a nail in his coffin for podium as well. Martin G, yes, 15.1 seconds off the pace of the top 3 drivers, but Flying Finn has also got so many penalties that if Martin G can bring that gap down by 3 seconds, Martin G will be on the final step of the podium.
I think it's unlikely unless Flying Finn has an issue trying to get past Sven for whatever reason. I don't know why you'd want to get past Sven other than for bragging rights. And especially if you're going to try and pass someone and make a mistake and they lose a position or two or a front wing. And now he's not even trying to race the race tonight.
Okay, that was a catch there, Flying Finn. You almost binned it there. And this corner here as well. This is another corner. Not this one here, the next one. Watch how he tackles this corner. He really flicks it in. And you can see him losing the back end as he's going round. He's fighting the car to try and control the back end. I've seen him do it for the last few laps. I honestly predict Flying Finn may lose his car and P3 going around that corner in probably about the next 4 or 5 laps.
I just wonder if his tyres have fallen off a little bit there. He just started to slide a lot more than I've seen him. It looks alright now. He's pulled back a little on Sven. Really getting a penalty down there in 7th. That could change things, especially if Copy can close up a little bit. I think Speedy's got enough penalties to put Copy behind him anyway. Boltzmann and Brownie, actually. Let's have a quick look at that. Boltzmann squeezed up against the wall, but takes the position. Rick trying to come through as well. Brownie might be out of the points here if he's not careful. But Boltzmann through. Rick is all over the back of Brownie. Is he going to fancy a little cheeky one down the inside into the second to last? No, he's more sensible than that. But you will get some DRS on Brownie. Brownie will get DRS of his own. Martin G, the 3-second penalty. That's pretty much, unless Flying Finn has a serious issue, that's pretty much gifted him 3rd.
Well, if my prediction's right and he ends up losing it in the couple of corners coming up that I was mentioning, then that could still happen. The way that he tackles this next corner here, he really flicks it in. You can see him really fighting the car to hold it together, and when he gets a little bit too much temperature in there, he's going to lose the back end and he's going to spin the car, and worst case scenario, he might even retire.
You never know. I've seen a fair few rolls from here at turn 12, so that's where I expect to see him have an issue later on. But Sven is right on the rear of Hypers. Is he going to go for an overtake? He's in mode 4, just too far back though this time around to go for it. And we're running out of laps to do so. 25 of 29. We've still got battling going on for the last of the points positions between Brownie and Rick.
Yeah, we do. It's a close one, but I think Brownie's going to lose this anyway, purely because Rick has less penalties than Brownie, I believe. And that ultimately could cost him even more than he really wanted to. But I mean, he's passed him anyway physically on track.
to hear someone has more penalties than Rick is an unusual thing to hear.
Exactly, and you know that Rick has been pretty good recently on keeping his penalties clean, but today in particular he's really struggled. I don't know if he's just feeling the heat from all the other drivers that are in here, because they are phenomenally fast drivers. But yeah, Rick needs to figure something out, and he needs to figure it out quick.
Yeah, Flying Finn has dropped off the battle for the lead. It is now a 2-horse race, which means Sven can concentrate 100% on taking that win. 0.4 is the gap as they're coming into the final corner. So again, DRS for Sven. Does he fancy a little shot here? I mean, Hypers is in mode 4. Flying Finn's in.
And a speeding penalty as well.
I think that's podium potentially gone. He's probably going to go for the fastest lap now.
Yep. I mean, Martin G is going to take P3, surely. And keep it.
He's coming through now. He's going to take the position. I mean, Martin G's got a couple of penalties, I think. But Flying Finn has a lot. And if he doesn't put this together and pushes too hard, he might actually lose a place to El Sunny.
Well, I think penalties-wise, I think Flying Finn is actually still going to lose to El Sunny at Reina. Not quite speedy, but definitely El Sunny and Reina. Oh, although Reina's in the pits, so maybe not. He may have actually just saved himself a position there.
Sunny has got a few penalties of his own, so does Speedy. Speedy's too far back anyway, unless Flying Finn picks up a huge penalty. Sven has just gifted potentially the win to Hypers. He'll be absolutely seething in that helmet now.
Well, I mean, the moment that he gifted it to Hypers was when he equalised on penalties earlier. And the moment that he took away his chances of recovering that were the moment when he just got the second penalty there. Hypers is leading this race and has been for quite a while. He has been delivering such a fast drive overall. Sven's been right there on the back of him, but he's not really pressured Hypers in any way. That Hypers actually has to do anything other than just carry on driving the way he is. Like, yes, he's using mode 4, and he's used a lot more ERS in the last few laps than he has pretty much the entire race. But he's also not struggling, although Sven is closing in.
Well, one thing to close in, another thing to pass, and he needs to get a lead on Hypers. Because I believe now Sven has 3 seconds more than Hypers.
Yeah, but unless Hypers gets another penalty, which is still possible. It has happened already. He's got one. But, I mean, I think the only way that it's going to happen is at the moment of when Sven is passing Hypers. I thought that was it there, to be honest. But, or here, these couple of corners here, I think this is going to be the only place that Hypers could potentially gain a penalty. And the way he just took those lines, it suggests he's not got to worry about that at all.
Yeah, well, I'm just on board with Flying Finn with those lovely soft tyres on the back of Martin G. He needs to get past, and then I've lost count of the penalty. I think he's had 12 seconds of on-track penalties and 5 seconds of pit penalty. Martin G, I think...
He had 15. Oh, he almost binned it there as well as he was trying to get around Martin G. No, he's had 15 seconds of on-track penalties, and then he got the 5-second stop-go as well to go with it.
Martin G nearly went off there for his own little penalty, but he's saved the slide, and Sven is in mode 4, but he's just not even close enough again. And he's running out of time if he's going to make a move.
Yeah.
The remaining of this lap have one more to go. Hypers, though, gets a little off track. Again, but it's a place that you can't make an overtake, so Hypers was saved by the position on track.
Flying Finn getting another penalty. I think that actually may put him not far off Reina. Elson again one as well. That's not good. Right. Here is the thing to think about between this battle for P1 and P2, right? If you look at Hyper's ERS levels, he's running mode 4 and 5, so he's really dumping it down in order to try and keep the gap between him and Sven. At the moment, whilst he's doing that, all he's doing is allowing Sven to close up even more, which he is doing, but he's also putting himself in such a position where he's running out very swiftly. He has got more than Hypers, but Hypers needs to focus on consistency, as he may or may not know this, but he is actually advantage on penalties.
Well, we'll find out. We're coming around to start the final lap then. Speedy had a little off at turn 14, between 13 and 14, sorry, so exit 13. Damage is trying to win, so he will be plumb last. sparing any big issues for Brownie. I think that's saved Brownie's bacon. Rick, with the Rick stuff, fancy for him, but this could be the last chance for Sven. He's nowhere near, just nowhere near. Just Hypers is just using everything he's got. Sven's got more fuel to burn as well, but he's just not getting it.
No.
And Hypers is driving a great defensive race out front. Even if he's not driving a defensive race, he's just doing what he needs to do to stay ahead. It's not like he's blocking and diving and moving speed. He has given up. I hope that's not going to cause a virtual safety car on the final lap.
That would really suck, especially considering how much Sven is pushing to now catch up to the back of Hypers. Hypers may or may not know this, but he is pretty much winning this race. Anyway, Sven is trying to push very hard. Look, he's going to use every last bit of VRS to bring himself closer towards Hypers now as we come up to the final few corners. Little bit of contact there between the two. Doesn't affect Hypers though. He keeps himself going, but Sven Zerner manages to catch the car beautifully and actually somehow still stays within DRS, although it's going to be for nothing as Hypers will come round the final corner. He's driven an exceptional race in this Grand Prix. Sven Zerner, who tried as hard as he could, and instead of keeping it clean and conservative, he ends up finishing second with Hypers taking the race win.
Absolutely. The battle's still on though for Copy and Rick. I think I've just seen Copy get past Rick. So this race isn't over yet. Obviously, we're going to see where Flying Finn ends up after these penalties are given to him. It could be quite low, unfortunately for him. So Master G coming up to the line.
Yeah.
Where's Master G? He's going to get third.
Yes, he does.
El Sunny, I don't think El Sunny will jump.
I'm not sure. I mean, El Sunny has less penalties, but yeah, not enough to... And he had the 5-second unserved as well.
Yeah,
Rayner, though, might capitalise on El Sunny. I don't know if it's enough. Because El Sunny's got quite a fair few himself. Is it going to be enough? It's not.
No. Oh, Rick's still battling with Copy, though. Final corner. Copy is going to take 7th from Rick. And penalties will come into play, so Rick will probably won't even hold on to 9th. He might not hold on to 10th. Rick drops like a stone to the back.
Yeah.
Rick things.
Rick things indeed. Rick, unfortunately, does still finishes in the points, but still, it's last place. Brownie got 8th. I'm sure I saw him get loads of penalties.
He got a couple, but not enough to put him any further down, so he finished 8th. 2-place jump on the check flag.
Well, there is the winner. That is Hypers, driven such an exceptional race throughout this Grand Prix. It's a really good, solid way of kicking off WCR in Season 3. I am already excited for next week when we are back in Bahrain, and hopefully we can see justice for Zerd. Will Zerd be able to drive much better and keep himself cleaner, or will he have a similar situation as he did here today? But that is your rundown here. You got Hypers takes the race victory with 25 points in his pocket, and Sven Zerner takes a solid 2nd place. Martin G gets 3rd place, takes the final step on the podium due to Flying Finn getting 20 seconds of penalties. I think we know a point for working on for Flying Finn. Flying Finn will take 4th, El Sunny takes 5th, Rayner takes 6th with Copy in 7th, Brownie takes 8th, Bulgzan takes 9th with Rick taking the final point in 10th, and then the DNFers were Speedy, i7, and Nickton, Zerd, and then Lemon. Well, that is it from us here in the World Championship Racing Grand Prix. It's been phenomenal to commentate for you. I've been Ben Rwaggy McConnell, and this has been Jamie Amkasa Elder. Jamie, as always, thank you so much for commentating with me. It's always a pleasure. Oh, okay. I mean, you can't really look away from Hypers, can you? You have to look at Hypers.
He's only got 5th, starting 12th, so not too bad from him.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be Hypers, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm giving it to Hypers. Hypers deserved it. And we'll see you guys next week for Bahrain Grand Prix.